morning meeting? Attend the morning meeting?
What?
Danilo.
I didn't get your question.
I
Danilo,
didn't.
did your sister attend the morning meeting?
No, no.
No?
I talked to her now, and she said that she didn't gonna attend now too.
Okay. But she's always welcome, okay? Don't think for a second that she's not, because she is. Okay, so Anne said she's coming, right? And there's a new guy too. His name is Eduardo Carlos, and he seems to be a good guy. You know, he's kind of funny in a way, but yeah. He also has a boyfriend, and his boyfriend was a teacher, an English teacher, but he's not anymore. But let's see where that that brings us. Yeah, Carlos Eduardo. I think he prefers Carlos, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure. One day. Okay. So, Danilo, how are you?
I'm fine, man.
So, how has your week been so far?
Was good. I'm trying to move, to
Really?
go live alone.
Nada. Did you get your own place already?
Yes, I already get to my own place this
Oh,
week,
that's exciting.
but I didn't move yet.
Are you renting, or did you buy a house, or what's the
Renting, man,
situation?
to buy.
Renting, yeah.
I,
I
I
know,
don't
man.
have
You
money
are
yet to
very
something like that.
resourceful. I believe in you. I believe that you're gonna be very rich someday. So why not? Yeah. And where is this new place? Is it a house, an apartment?
It's an
Where
apartment.
it's an apartment? Okay.
I think
Where?
it's in Turu here.
Near my house.
It's near my my
Ex-girlfriends?
my house. No, I don't
Near your
have.
current house.
I didn't have girlfriends
Okay, no
in my
problem.
entire life until
Really?
now.
Really?
No,
Yeah.
it's not. I didn't have
Just kidding.
that kind of
Okay, you're young.
relationship yet.
Yeah.
You're so young.
Yeah, I only had one relationship too, and it was kind of messed up. But I don't know. For me, it's more difficult, you know.
I had
I wish
a
more
lot of
straight.
relationships, but
Okay.
I didn't have any
Like love.
until have this agreement. You know, we
This is
are
a relationship.
girlfriend and boyfriend.
I understand.
we
It's
we
just
just
like,
how to say it. We just
yeah,
getting each other. I don't know.
we're just seeing each other. We're just seeing each other.
Yes, we were just seeing each
We're
other,
just
and
seeing each other, right? Can say like this. Okay, cool. So, but where in Turu? I live near Turu. You know, I live in Divinéia, technically. But if you go down the street, one side there's Turu, and the other side there is Olho d'Água, right? So it's right in the middle
yes,
between Olho d'Água and Turu. So where exactly are you going to live?
it's in the side of the Mateus supermarket.
Supermarket.
Mateus.
There are two Mateus actually, right? There's a
Yeah,
big one in Daniel, no, Daniel Tatush, sorry, in
São Luís de
oh,
França.
São Luís de France. Thank you.
Yes,
On São Luís de France Avenue, there are two Mateus. An old one that before being Mateus, it was a Preço Bom. I don't know if you remember, guys, but there was this supermarket chain here in São Luís called Preço Bom. Before Bom Preço was very old, right?
Oh, so
There
it's
was one in João Paulo, there was one in Turu, Preço Bom,
I
and
don't
then
remember.
they became Mateus, right? And
yes,
like some
I
years
go.
ago, they built a new one, a bigger one, closer to Natureza gas stations. You know, Natureza gas station. It's closer. So which one are you talking about? The big one or the old one?
I don't know because I'm not from here. Then I don't know the age of the Mateus.
Okay, so the big one or the small one?
It's one of the side of the Caixa Bank. Do you know?
Okay, it's the big one. Yeah. So
It's
there's
Okay.
yeah across from Caixa. Then there's Caixa, and then across from
yes,
Caixa
yes.
there's Mateus. Yeah, actually, my the only boyfriend that I had lived there, right, in one of those apartment complexes. He had an
Mm.
apartment there. He lived with his parents, but he also had this apartment. So whenever he wanted to be alone or bring someone there, he would go there, right? Yeah,
Okay.
it's kind of good arrangement, right? You can have your freedom, and at the same time, you have your parents to take care of you, right? So it's a fine arrangement. What about your sister? Is she moving out with you too? Like,
For now, no, no. I'm gonna alone because
okay,
I wanted to have this experience,
yeah,
try it because I
Congratulations.
think
yeah, me too, man.
it.
Congrats, man. You're so brave.
It will be really
we,
good.
Yeah, I'm really proud of you. You did something that I always dreamed of doing, never did, right?
and when I decided to do it, I started to think it's not a good decision to do. I'm not gonna do it. Then I thinking again and I say I have to do it so fast that my mind
Yeah, I
don't
don't
You will
have
change.
change
time
your
to.
mind about it. Yes, I
Yeah, I
have
Yeah,
don't
the
have
but
same
time to
as
change your
well.
mind, right?
then I
Yeah,
say
that's very.
okay, I gonna do it. Then I decided and I go alright and go
Oh,
in that way
nice.
and try until I get it.
Okay, very good. Um, so guys, actually, since you are our only clubber here today, like besides Vanessa, Vanessa is both a clubber and a part of the team, so it's kind of she's hybrid. I'm just kidding. So I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna tell you two tips, okay? Right, for you to improve your English. For example, when you say, okay, it's very commendable. Okay, it's very nice when you want to speak more fluently, like a native, right? And for that, when you speak fast, you use words like wanna. Okay, wanna. So what is wanna? Wanna is actually want to. When you say it very fast, right? I want to be free. I want to be free. I want to be free. I want to, right? I want to. I want to. But be careful because sometimes people say, I wanna to, right? And wanna is already to, okay? So I want to do it alone. I wanna do it alone, right? Not I wanted to. So sometimes this can sound very weird for to a native person, for example. Okay, but they will understand you, of course. But just for you to get better English, I want to do it alone. The same thing to gonna. I am going to right. Going to move uh, move out. Okay, I'm going to move out.
I'm
I'm
going to move
gonna
out.
I'm gonna move out. I'm gonna move out. Okay, I'm gonna move out. So not gonna to, okay? I'm gonna or going to. Gonna move out.
But this
And
is
one more,
more. Yeah, sorry.
yeah, no, can
Sorry.
go on. Go on.
No, actually, I was just about to tell wanna and gonna are more for American English. Like it's easier to say, it's like sounds more fluent for American
Hmm.
English. I think British English, I heard many times they saying like, don't say like that. I want
Really?
to. Yeah, because they used to say everything so correct
Hmm.
every time. So
Yeah,
it's
I
kind of
guess it also depends on the region, right? In London alone, there
yes.
are several accents, and people say like, very different ways to say something. Even the vocabulary changes sometimes, right? So, but one more thing. This to here is specifically a part of the verb, right? I want to do it. For example, if you say like this, I'm going, right, to the beach. So this to here is not part of the verb. There's no verb after going. So you cannot say I'm going to the beach, right? It's only when there's a verb. I'm gonna go to the beach. Okay. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna eat something. But never when this to here is not a part of the verb. Right? Yeah, makes sense to you? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, very nice. So yeah. So Danilo, did you take a look at our theme for today?
This is a
You
difficult
see the
question.
video?
I didn't.
You did.
Oh
Come
my
on,
God.
man.
I,
Oh
to be
boy.
real, I don't know
You don't know
what's
it. Okay.
the topic of today.
Actually, it's something that you're actually supposed to like research a little bit, right? To know about the facts. But since you don't know about it, we can do it now, right? Are you using your computer?
Yes, I'm using my
Yeah.
computer.
So it's very easy for you to just Google something, right? If you want to share an
Yes.
information, that's also valid. Okay, guys. There's no problem researching. Even if you don't know something, guys, that's all that's something that I always carry with me. Nobody is forced, nobody's supposed to know everything, right? So even if it's your area of expertise, for example, just was it today? Yeah, it was today. I was teaching at Colégio Militar, and somebody asked me something, and for a moment I said the wrong information. So I took my cell phone and I Googled it, and I said something wrong. So I'm sorry. I just gave you the wrong information. That's the correct information, right? And I believe that nobody thought less of me because of this. Okay, it's always good for us to admit that we don't know something when we don't know, right? I believe you are like this too, Danilo, because from what I know about you, you seem to be a very a humble guy and a guy who is interested in being just and being honest, right?
When I in a class, I did it in the last week. I'm watching a class of teach, a teacher of UFMA, and he said something that I look at it and I said, I asked him again to he repeated what he said, and I
Hmm.
said, but I think this is wrong, and he he said, okay, I'm gonna research it and I'm gonna
Oh,
answer in the
cool.
next class. Then in the next class he said, I have to I don't know how to say it, we record the class again
Uh-huh.
because what I said in that class was wrong, and
Oh, wow, nice.
because
That's great.
he saw that the information he said is not right at all.
Yeah.
And
Usually, people who work like in universities, they are very full of themselves, right? They say, "Oh, I'm a doctor in this. I know better than you," right? Sometimes we
yes,
find people like this.
but at the same time I think I had this opportunity to know a lot of new teachers
Teachers,
in
professors
Right.
is for the university. Teachers in general.
I don't know, mainly that because my one time I called my I don't know how to say my
Mm,
all the time I forget the name.
but
The people that my final work in the
Okay,
university.
your
My supervisor, I
super,
think.
yeah, not supervisor. It's my. I always forget you, man. And I have the Portuguese word in my head, So
All the times we
I'm
saw
trying to say like
we say
orient.
that
Yeah,
word, we
every
don't
time
know.
the
it's
yeah, I don't
Vanessa,
know how to
save
say as
us,
well.
save
No, I
us.
just let me look up on Google because I
Yeah,
remember I asked you once and then
yeah.
we
We
sent
discussed this before, right? I
yeah.
remember, and I
Yes, I
forget now.
think three
Yeah,
times already
three times. Yeah.
we discussed
I
that.
Okay.
We
Anyways,
have
I know what you
some.
mean, right? The person who is orienting you.
Okay,
Your professor who is
I'm gonna continue.
Okay.
okay.
And he said to me that he didn't want to call professor because when outside of Brazil, when you are a professor, you're already in a great position in the university, in the hierarchy, something like that. I don't understand so much, but he said something like that. that when he talking with people
It's advisor,
in
right? My
foreign,
advisor or my
Yeah, I
guidance
found
counselor.
advisor.
Yeah, guidance
it's counselor,
counselor, guidance counselor or
guidance
advisor.
counselor,
My advisor,
Yeah, I found professor advisor. That's what.
professor
professor
advisor,
advisor.
right?
It's a lot of things.
Yeah.
We're gonna forget again.
No,
No, you're gonna
it's
write
just
down.
remember the advisor gives you advice. So the advisor, advice.
Advisor. Now I don't forget.
Okay.
Both of them, professor advisor, like it's together.
Yeah,
That's
professor
what I
advisor.
found here.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Danilo. A professor in the U.S. is usually when you work with higher education, not only universities but higher education. So maybe if you are a professor, you teach a master's course, a doctorate course, or even university, you are a professor, right? But if you work in a school, in a like private in a course or something like this, you usually are a teacher. Okay, like
Okay.
teacher's the name.
They have
Uh,
something funny in Australia. They call also trainers because
trainers.
but it's something specific from their education. Even at uni, they call like, oh, we don't have professors, we have trainers. They always
Okay.
say this because for them, the education is like the trainers. They are not going to be there teaching. They are not going to have a lecture, those kind of things. They are going to teach you how to do it. You are going to learn by yourself, kind of how to
Okay.
do it,
This is
you know.
amazing.
Yeah.
That some people like, some people doesn't like. I heard many. I haven't been at uni there. I was just studying short course. But some people like, some people doesn't like. I heard like both opinions. Some people saying, "Oh, I find this better," and some people, "No, I think there is a lot of information missing, and I miss like how they teach you in Brazil at uni." But
Mm.
yeah,
But
it's kind of a new thing.
I understand, but I think in Brazil have a problem of learning how to learn. People don't know how to learn.
That's
Then
true.
when
Yeah,
people get to the union, they don't know how to learn. They go to and they don't know how to learn it. And they need someone to say to them, you have to do that and you have to make it, you have to choose it. That book is good. My teacher or professor, he said
Mhm.
sometime, choose the book that you like more, but have to be a good book. And he give us a great list of books and he say, choose one, study
Yeah,
from it, just study.
sure. It's funny because the way that education is presented here in Brazil, it generates a generation of people who don't have initiative, right? So they wait for the teacher to give them like a mother bird, feeds their babies, right? Her babies. They
yeah,
chew and they process everything and they just give you the information, right? So it's always a challenge to have students to look up information, to search, to do research, right? It's very difficult, guys. This word here is very interesting. It's actually one of our pillars here in the community, in the coffee club, right? So it's autodidacticism or autodidactism, autodidactism or autodidacticism, right?
Or a
Didacticism.
very
complicated
hard to
word.
say.
Yeah,
It's hard to say, but repeat.
autodidacticism.
Auto
Auto.
didacticism.
Yeah.
Autodidacticism.
Actually, this word is great to talk about pronunciation because we have two phenomena right here that are very interesting. The first one is this AU here. Usually, when you have AU in English, usually, okay, not always, because English is never always. So you have this O sound. So it's not ow, it's O, auto, right? Automobile, for example, because, right? You don't say because, you say because.
Oh,
Even AW too, like awesome, right? That's awesome. Huh? Oh. So autodidacticism in this in the end, it's very different from Portuguese too, because we usually don't do the M sound in the end of a syllable, right? We usually do it like nasal, like a nasal sound, right? But in English, though, you have to close your mouth. You have to touch your lips. So auto
Auto
didacticism,
didacticism,
some look, right? It's like other words like socialism, racism,
socialism.
capitalism, right?
Yes, yeah. Too
Yeah, yeah, yes.
um,
It's funny because when the person is very excited and they say it very strongly, they usually put even a sound after, like capitalism. They say like this,
capitalism.
ma. It's funny. Um, so Daniel, the topic today is about mystery. It's so mysterious that you don't know the topic, right? Just
Everything.
kidding. The topic is so mysterious that you don't know the topic. But actually, the question is, were the pyramids built by aliens? And actually, we have discussed this in Infusion before, right? About the possibility of aliens walking amongst us, right? And okay, so can you answer the question? Were the pyramids built by aliens? What's your opinion about it?
I think that we have a lot of clues that was made by humans and not by aliens. I think the history shows us that was made by humans. I don't believe that a alien come to Earth and say, "Okay, I'm gonna do a,
They
I'm gonna do
just
that."
decide.
Yes, because doesn't have nothing meaningful in that. I don't know. That doesn't have a important meaning in that structure at all. I don't know if
Which structure? Sorry, I didn't get the last sentence.
I think that doesn't have any meaning. Any important
Mhm.
meaning. They don't, because if aliens came here and make it, they have
So
to
why, right?
have
There's
some
no
meaning.
reason.
Why they gonna do it?
Mhm.
They People that say it doesn't have any explanation for that.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
because
but I think that what happens is that people don't think that the civilization, like ancient civilization, like they didn't have as much technology as we have today, right? So how do you suppose that the Egyptians, right, human beings, uh, built the pyramids? Like, what would have happened with the technology that only much later would resurface? You know, because nowadays I think we are able to do it, right? But if we could do it back then, why didn't we just kept using the same technology or improving upon it, right?
you're saying about the construction.
Yeah, the
Okay.
constructions, for example, Stonehenge, or even the what's the name? Vanessa, Moais. Yes, the Moais, right? You know the
Why?
Moais
Yes.
in Easter Island, right? They are huge stones sculpted like faces in bodies too, right? And they're huge from the same stone. So how can human beings have built that? Like, where's the
Parrot
technology?
shared the photo with him.
Oh yes,
Interesting. Yeah, because it's interesting.
let me put
I,
here.
I,
Because maybe you have seen, but you don't remember like what was the name of the place. So it's
Yeah,
interesting that you can
Easter
see.
Island. Okay, I binged it. I didn't Google it. I used Bing. I don't know why, but there's a thing here. Look, wow, so
okay,
big.
I'm saying it.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
saying
you're seeing it. Yeah, you have Google there.
yeah.
So, and for me, the most impressive one, one of the most impressive ones, was the Nazca lines. You know the Nazca lines here, Nazca lines
Nazca lines.
here. Take a
Let me
look.
research.
Let's search here.
Okay, for sure this is aliens.
For sure. Yeah. To communicate with their other ships, right? So the ships could see the drawings from a distance. It makes
Yes,
sense. Here's
they
the
can,
reason. Look, the reason the pyramids to be seen from afar, you know?
they can saw this is Earth. We know we marked the Earth. Then then
Yeah,
we came back someday and say, okay, this is the country that are gonna dominate. And
yeah. So here are the most dangerous animals, you know? Like a monkey, spider, an eagle, right? But okay, so what do you think? How could those drawings, for example, um, how could those drawings have? How could they have been made?
I think when you get the start of the human history,
Hmm.
it's 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 all almost all the things we know. It's drawings. It's like they are in the, I don't know how to say it. It's they are in that place is under the stone. I don't know the name.
Like a cave, cave.
Yes, they are in caves, and
Hmm.
they make a lot of draws in the walls, and you saw it all the time when you gonna back in the history. Then it was the first way of communicate with each others, the first way of communication. Then I believe that art was one of the things of the humanity. Like when some days ago I watched a video about, I think was about dancing, and explains about how people started to dance. It was a way of communication too. People started
Yeah.
to communicate with each other, and they started to solve other ways because they didn't know how to speak yet in that time then.
Oh yeah, they were using like the body to
Yeah, the body to
follow
express
the
himself,
message.
and
Okay, great. The only
this is
problem is that the drawings are huge. You know, they are
yes.
enormous, and they are made like on the ground. So only one person who could be like way up in the air, way up in the sky, could see what they're drawing. Unless they I don't know, maybe they draw something like on scale, like a small drawing, and then they calculated everything, and then they started carefully doing all the lines and the angles and everything. I mean, it's possible, but it seems too difficult to do something that has no meaning, you know?
But in the past we can have we can think about a lot of possibilities. For example,
Of course, yeah.
and we have a lot of people that do just one thing in the entire life. And for
Hmm.
example, when you have this, I don't know how the name is, like Aristoteles and this
Yeah, Aristotle.
Aristotle
Aristotle.
and these
Aristotle.
others, like this other guy, they
Plato.
just do that thing. They don't do, they do another thing. It's not like
Hmm.
today we do a lot of things, we have a lot of things to do. Then sometimes I believe that, for example, when you get some years ago and nowadays we already have people that go made things with hands, like with, you know, I don't know how to say the name.
Like
And
uh,
Mm.
crafts, like
no,
crafts,
yeah, crafts. We
yeah,
have
crafts,
people
They're
that,
talking about handmade
or
objects.
handicrafts. Yeah,
yes,
handicrafts.
people, I don't know if you already saw something like that, but I already saw people getting a great cube of how to say it, when the water it's less than 0 Celsius.
It's ice.
Ice.
Eyes,
They
okay.
they have
Yeah.
a cube of ice, and they started to draw that with just a
Ice pick.
Yes, and they do it with just without doing
Oh,
another
sculpture.
drawing,
Sculpture.
just in at first without
Mm-hmm.
problems. Then it, I don't know.
Yeah,
With
maybe.
sometimes we have doubts about the human capacity to think about aliens. We started to think, oh, humans learned to do things in the last 200 years. This is a lie because we learned to do things years
I
ago,
agree with you.
and we have to started to learn that we have we are able to do things. It's not we don't have to say okay, aliens came here
Aliens
and
made,
did
yeah.
Yeah. But how do
I
you explain the Stonehenge? Sorry, Vanessa, can you?
it's okay, it's okay.
Okay, because the Stonehenge, like they are like huge rocks, and they are put one on top of each other, right? One on top. But how can you lift so much weight in a time that there was no like heavy machinery? Okay, those big machines that we use nowadays to lift things or to excavate things. You know those big machines. Uh, but they didn't have those. How can
but
they lift something so heavy and put something so high up on top of other rock, without uh, I don't know, without the technology that we have, and certainly a human being is not strong enough to lift it, right?
this is a great question.
It's a great
Yeah,
question. Maybe they had something and we just don't know. As I was
I
as I
believe in
was
that.
telling you like
probably.
earlier, we were talking about that as well earlier, Danilo, and I had the conclusion that sometimes like because we didn't have the information technology that we have nowadays, so
Hmm.
maybe we lost a lot of information from before, from the past, you know. So maybe they knew some stuff and we don't know, like because is everything lost? We were losing a lot of information at the time because they didn't have information technology like we have nowadays. Also, I think the human is really smart, but humans in general. But I think we just don't realize this nowadays because everything is so easy to us. Whatever we want to know, we want to discover something, we just go to Google and that's it. But I think they had a lot of time and they have a lot of needs to solve at that time.
You know,
Knowledge
yeah,
is so easy today. We have knowledge. It's
yeah.
so easy to have a knowledge about something. You have to
And knowledge is
Google
shared,
it.
right? Nowadays, it's shared. You just go
Yes,
online, and the internet's a compendium of human knowledge, right? You can easily find it. But guys, there was a time that there was no even there wasn't books. There was no press to make books. So if you wanted to write a book, you had to write one by one, like with your hands. Right? And before that, there was no paper, so all the literature, or I don't know, would be like mouth to mouth, right? Or maybe like in stone, written on stone or something like this. Uh, wow, technology has advanced so much, not only uh, from the 20th century or 19th century up to now, but the whole human history, right? And that's why I think it's kind of weird that we had something like this, a machine able to lift such a heavy stone back then, and then we kind of lost
All the
this knowledge,
information.
you lost this information, the schematics, or how to build this. Because even though we didn't have much to write on, but the knowledge passes from son from father to son, right? From people within the village, the city, right? I think it could be that people just lost this information, right? Just don't have them available anymore. But I also think that I don't know, something must have happened. Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, maybe a lot of people, as I was telling you earlier about the natural phenomena, maybe there was like some natural phenomena, a lot of people die, and yeah, and then because of that, they lost all the information, and they didn't have how to communicate that to other people, teach other people. Maybe.
Yeah, yeah,
Not sure.
maybe.
So
Maybe
they
something,
just disappear, Everyone.
yeah, something might have happened uh, that stopped this information to go along, right? To go on,
Probably.
actually, right? Okay. So, Danilo, I have here some words that we have been, we said here today, and they are very interesting. Not that only Danilo, of course, Vanessa too. But look, this one is drawing, right? Drawings. In this case, that's drawings is the noun, is the object. So I'm going to make a drawing, right? Draw is the verb. I'm going to draw um, a cat, right? So here's my drawing of a cat. My drawing, right, is here. Drawing. The other one is handicrafts. Okay, so handicrafts are objects that people usually do them with their hands, right? For example, if you go to Seprama here in São Luís, uh, there are lots of people selling their handicrafts. Okay, okay, no problem. So look, ice cube. We said that people use ice cubes to sculpt. Okay, to sculpt, to make sculptures. And the thing that they use to sculpt is a pick, or in this case, a nice pick, right? Ice pick. I like it. You know, thing. Ice pick. And Danilo, you use this expression very correctly. Okay, we have doubts about something, so this is a problem that many people have because they want to use doubts as if they were using the word question, like this. I have a doubt. This is not correct. Okay, you can say I have a question. When you have doubts about something, it's like you're not sure, right, about something. For example, you said correctly. You said that we have doubts about the human capabilities, right? The human abilities to do something, right? I'm unsure. I'm not sure if humans can do that or not. So I have doubts about it. Very good. And one of the strategies to talk about um, speculations about the past is it could be, right, it's a very common one, it could be the Egyptians had some help from the aliens. I don't know, maybe the Egyptians did build the the pyramids, but they had some help from the aliens. I'm not sure, so it could be, yeah, maybe it could be, maybe to send a signal to their ship up there. I'm not sure. So yeah. So Danilo, tell me, what other world mysteries do you know of, and you like or not? Do you know about?
Mysteries.
Yes, I mentioned some, right? I mentioned the Nazca lines. I mentioned the pyramids, the Stonehenge, but there are many other unanswered questions around the world, right? The world. So do you remember any mystery, anything?
To be real, I don't have
No.
so much knowledge about this kind of mysteries. I don't know. I'm so skeptic about this kind of things about mysteries and oh, I have these mysteries that no one solved and
Yeah, but there
because
are, right?
I believe that almost anything we didn't solve at all. For example, if you get
Mhm.
the, for example, we are solving little problems all the time. When Einstein solved the problem that he finds, he solved a little people think it's a great problem he solved and but it's like I don't know how to say it, but I remember a Newton said something like that he was in the, I think it's the shred of giants, something like that. He said this because no, we are solving little problems all the time. We are solving mysteries all the time. But
Mhm.
I think sometimes when we have a mystery, we don't know something, we tend to try to find an easy answer to that, like an alien
Mhm.
and something like that. But I think this is a is answer. It's like the problem of the flat Earth. That's
Oh my God.
that today it turns into a mystery.
No, it's
we
not a
don't know.
mystery.
We
Just
don't know.
people, some people are stubborn and they don't want to see the
No, man,
facts.
we don't know if it's the offers.
But okay, but you know that science is defined by something that can be disproved, right? So if
Yes.
something can be disproved, it's science. So in a way, the flat Earth is science, right? They try to
Yeah.
approach the scientific way, right?
It's
And they do some experiments, but the experiments that they do are failed, right? So you can easily disprove. You can easily check with other facts and say that okay, that's not the case. But
yeah, yeah,
science will never say that's for sure the case. For example,
yeah.
Einstein discovered something, right? And it's accepted by all of us,
By
right?
the scientific community.
But maybe, like 100 years from now, they will discover something that it was different. Maybe Einstein was wrong, and maybe this new discovery is going to be
Maybe
accepted in the mainstream, right?
you know
It happened all the time.
Hawking. You know Stephen Hawking.
Yes, yes. Not
In
personally,
he
right? But I know, I know.
in his I think in his how to say it is in his doctorate. I think that
Yeah, doctorate.
in
His
his doctorate.
thesis,
He,
PhD thesis.
in his doctorate, he in his thesis, he when he finished his thesis, he said something. 1 or 2 years after that, he said, "I'm wrong. I'm totally wrong. It's everything wrong." And he started to make it so that prove he is wrong. He was wrong in that time. Then that I think that's the amazing thing about science.
Yeah,
For example,
it's the beauty.
the problem is that when
Doctoral thesis.
people say about flat Earth, they don't use the scientific methods to prove that the the that they are right, because the scientific
Hmm.
method, for example, the almost all of them didn't read the books about gravitation and this kind of thing, that try to understand and try to
Hmm.
prove that's wrong. They just say, okay, gravitation gravity that doesn't exist at all, and and they
Uh,
just say it without proving nothing, and they say no, we have the proof, but they just say that gravitation doesn't exist. I
yeah.
saw a video about a
No,
guy saying it.
actually,
Gravitation
like
doesn't
this.
exist.
Sorry, go on. Gravitation doesn't
and
exist.
and he said gravitation doesn't exist,
Huh?
and he didn't prove that at all. He didn't try to say to 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 explain. They just say doesn't exist.
Well, actually, I know the explanation of flat Earth is about gravity, and they do explain. What I think that they do is they are being naive, right? They are disregarding all the science before them, and they try to explain something new. But the process is scientific, right? They are trying to do experiments, very amateur ones, very naively, right? But they are trying to make sense of it. For example, the explanation for the gravity is that we are like on a disk, right? And this disk is always going up, right? And if you think, right, this could be a possible explanation because if the disk is always going up, if you jump, you will fall eventually, right? Because you jump here, so the flat disk goes up, and then you hit the ground, right? So it makes some sense. It is explainable,
But
but all the other things don't corroborate for that idea, for that conclusion. So they should study more and make better experiments in order to explain better, because if you take this system, things like the moon and the sun and the eclipse don't make any sense. It's impossible to explain eclipse or the moon if the Earth is flat. How come everybody sees the same face of the moon in all the world if it's flat? If it's flat, you are here, I am here, right? And then we see the same moon. How come? You know, it's impossible. We see that,
they,
right?
because I think they think that the light have limitations, that the light don't. don't go to. I think because they said that the sun was close, and when we don't saw the sun, it's because the sun was in another place, and he is traveling around the flat Earth. It's like the limit of the light. The light doesn't go to all the place. They have a
My God.
barrier,
That's
something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
yes.
that's so crazy.
It's
That seems far
complicated.
fetched. That
but
seems far fetched to me.
but but I think it's necessary to have a critical think. Like I believe the
Yes.
studies of the think, then they think maybe the Earth is flat, but the first thing you have to do is to study. And
Hmm.
the problem is that they don't study. They just say, okay, I'm gonna just consider all the
Hmm.
things that prove that I'm wrong, and I'm started to consider just the things that prove that I'm right. And then
Yeah.
with that, I'm gonna try to make something and try to prove that I'm right, just using all the argues that help me in that.
Arguments. In those arguments, they're so naive. It's like, oh, I went to the beach and I look at the horizon, and it's straight, so that the Earth is flat. It's so like, oh my God, it's so naive, so childish. Instead of making an experiment, many
To
times and
really try to
collect the
understand.
data and and make a. They say, oh my God, I'm flying on a plane and the plane is not inclined, so. Oh my
You,
God! So
I
that's
even heard a theory that it was funny. I saw on the internet. I don't know if it was like serious because I was like, it can't be true. I was like wondering if the person was joking or talking really serious. But I saw a theory on the internet, and I was in Australia at the time, and I saw they saying like, you people should understand that the Earth is flat and Oceania doesn't exist.
oh my God.
When people say
Where's
they
Australia
went to
then?
New Zealand and Australia is because they are going to another place. They it was some really weird theory, and I tried to read that, and I was like, so when I was for the whole time, the plane was just like doing like a round, round way
Yeah,
and
going round and
coming back
round.
to other place. Is it
That's
like
weird.
I've been here for all this time like
Yeah,
this?
and it's funny because no one ever knows, right? We have like thousands of astronauts. We have like pilots and people who like experience those things every day, but it's a secret. Everybody's in on a conspiracy that they are holding information from the public. Nobody can know. It's
It's
very
so
messed up.
weird.
Yeah, but guys, but there are some real mysteries. Some things that nobody has explained. For example, Danilo, the Bermuda Triangle incidents. You have Atlantis. Atlantis could be just like a tale, like a folklore tale, maybe. I don't know. Or the Loch Ness monster. But what else? Remember? Do you remember any more, Vanessa? Other mysteries?
Hmm.
I was thinking about one, but I forgot now. Yeah, and there are even some mysteries that are like possibly crimes. For example, the disappearing of some people, that they vanished out of nowhere, right? And they never found the body or anything related. In a day like ours, like nowadays, that we have cameras all the time, everywhere. Like people have cameras with them, like security cameras. It's pretty mysterious if somebody just vanishes, right? So
Do you
there are
know any
so many
specific story about that?
mysteries.
Like someone who disappeared, who vanished?
Yeah, I do. Actually, I was watching a video of mysteries, unsolved mysteries, and there is a girl. She is in an elevator, right? And she's very nervous about something. She's all alone in the elevator, and the elevator has a camera, right? So she's on camera. Everybody can see. She's like very nervous and like crying, and then she exits, if I'm not mistaken. She exits, and then she vanishes. And then the other camera on the corridor doesn't catch her anymore. And nobody knows until today what happened to this girl. She never came back to her family. She Nobody knows what happens with her. She just vanished in the middle of the building. You know, it's very interesting. I like to watch those videos about mysteries and to imagine what could have happened. You know, what might have happened. Um, so you know,
I'm searching.
yeah, you're
This
researching.
year.
Yeah,
I found the 10 biggest historical mysteries.
yeah, historical mysteries, and there are some like modern mysteries too. On YouTube, you can see many of those cases, right? Um, guys, let me just tell you something here. Look, Danilo, when you this expression, to be honest, right? To be honest, you've been saying like to be real, but it's better to say to be honest. To be honest, I think, right? Or to tell the truth, to tell the truth, right? You can say like this, truth, tell the truth. Or if I'm being honest, I'm being honest, okay? Um, right? And look, this word here, this expression, far-fetched. Something far-fetched is something that's really difficult to believe, right? It's a remote possibility that it's difficult for people to believe. For example, the idea that the aliens built the pyramids is far-fetched to me, right? I don't believe in it. I think it's very, very difficult, to believe in this theory. It's far-fetched. And also, here, look. So, guys, one of the things that are really challenging, one of the things that is really challenging about English is the time tenses, right? Especially because our native language is so different from English, and sometimes we don't know when to use the simple present, the present continuous, the present perfect, right? And the point here of this meeting is not to teach you grammar or teach you about this, but there are some structures that you need to pay attention to. For example, when you're talking about something uh, that you consider the past until now, you use this formation here, this form here. They haven't read. So they haven't read anything about it until now. Okay, so far. So there are some words that help you, like so far, until now, to this day, right? Recently, lately. These words, they already give you a hint to use this type of sentence. They haven't read yet. Okay. So another thing is to use the correct auxiliaries. For example, did, right? I I didn't go, for example. And it's very normal for people say I didn't went, right? Because okay, we're talking about the past, so the past of to go is went, so I didn't went, right? But actually, you say went in the affirmative, in the negative you say I didn't go, right? So what people do a lot is like this: I don't went, okay? I don't went because you think, okay, negative don't, okay, but don't is only for the present, right? Don't for the present and did or didn't for the past. So it's something that you have to pay attention and to try to improve, right? And once you practice a lot, it's going to be second nature, okay? It's going to be automatic, right, after a while. But I remember that when I was learning English, I had a huge problem to say the variation of the third person, for example. For example, they work, right? They work. Oftentimes I would say they works because I know that she works and she works. So sometimes my brain would like mix things up and say they works instead, right? It took me some time to automatize this, to make it automatic actually in my head. But I believe that it will happen for you too. You just need
Have this
to
problem with people.
people
Because
in person.
whenever I say people, I no, actually it's because whenever I say people and I have to, for example, say some people think. So sometimes I want to say some people think, but it's
Things, yeah.
because because like for us the people, like the plural of
Yeah,
persons, like it's a lot of people, so but we used to say like it's still in the it still use the verb
singular.
for singular. Yeah, yeah, because
Yeah,
it's just a word, so I have this,
yeah.
I confuse this a lot.
And I believe that it's because people doesn't sound like a plural word, you know,
Yeah,
because most
yeah,
plural words they add an s like for example, uh, classroom and classrooms, right? You say, but person becomes people. The same thing goes for
yeah.
child. Child becomes children. So people say, ah, my children is. No, your child is. Your children
Yeah.
are. Okay. So
Sometimes we know and
sometimes,
we just confused because we're
yeah,
talking
it's
fast.
very normal. No
Yeah,
problem. But I just mean that you have to like try to correct yourself. Try to. Oh my God, I did this again.
repeat many
Let's
times.
yeah, let's try to correct. Okay, so what did you find, Danilo, in your research? Did you find anything interesting?
I find the first bigger here it was who was Jack the Ripper?
Oh, Jack the Ripper. Wow,
No one knows.
no one knows. Okay, so true mysteries. No, not alien related, or maybe he was an alien. I don't know.
Who
Probably not.
killed JFK?
Okay, JFK. That's a mystery too.
I know a
Right.
mystery about São Paulo,
Alright.
which is quite weird
Mhm. Do
because
tell.
there is a place in São Paulo where they had a huge, like I can say bushfire. Yeah, bushfire. They had a huge bushfire in there.
Portugal.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm a little bit confused right now about this word, but yeah, they had a
Can you
huge.
can you type it? Can you type it for
Yeah,
us?
yeah, bushfire. Actually, let me try to look up for. I forgot
Okay,
now.
no problem.
Yeah, it was an accident in a building.
Okay.
Was the building was on fire?
Okay. It was a fire. You can say just fire.
Yes, the building was on fire, and a lot of people, a lot of people died, of course. And before this happened, the name was Edifício Joelma. The name of the building was Joelma. And if you look on Netflix,
Alô, manco, agora
you're
é
gonna find this
notícia.
story. So a lot of
Just,
people died. They couldn't save people. Like I think just like there were, let's say there were like 200 people in this building, and just 10 were safe. Just 10 could escape from the situation, from this accident. At that time they didn't. It was like at 17 70s age, you know.
yeah.
And before
1974.
this building, also it was a home in the same land where was this building, and a psychopath killed like his whole family. He was a father. He had three daughters and a wife, and he killed everyone. His wife, his three daughters,
Wow.
and yeah, if you look on the internet, you're gonna find about that.
It's the plot of that movie with Ryan Reynolds. You know, Amityville. Yeah, there's a actually Amityville is a movie based on the real events that happened in the city in the United States,
Oh,
right?
really?
In this house. Yeah, a father woke up in the middle of the night and killed everybody in their family, including
It's so
himself,
so
right?
the guy killed his whole family, and then after was this building, and like nowadays it is a square. I forgot the name of the square in São Paulo. This place
Chiminha,
they gave up about like
Chiminha.
building whatever in there. Like they just made it a square, but even nowadays the people say it's a so weird place. The energy of the place is so weird because
Mhm.
so many people that died in there. Like first of all, the guy who killed his whole family in the home. Then after it was a building, and a lot of people died.
Yeah,
It's
I heard that the building that was once my mother's haunted house in Belém, it became a building, right? And I heard somebody told me, I don't know, that it's still to this day there are some weird suicides that happen there and some crazy things there. So maybe there are ghosts, you know. I never seen one, but you know, and being Christian, I was taught to believe that there are no ghosts, but there are demons. So there are demons who they are these malevolent beings that can be here, but people don't stay here. Like when people die, they really go to heaven or to hell, right? But their ghosts are just demons, right? So I'm not sure. So what about you, Daniel? Do you believe in ghosts? Do you have any ghost story or like a personal mystery story?
No, I don't believe in ghosts.
Me neither. They are such liars. I don't believe them.
But
Right?
I find a Christian mystery here in
Really?
at least here.
So what is it about?
This is an important question. What was Jesus really like?
Hmm. I saw a picture, and he looks just like Lula. You know that yes, there's a picture of Jesus, and it's very similar to Lula, but a little bit dark skinned. You know.
And
Mm,
I I have this all the time. I saw to people, I talk to people that Jesus probably was black, was not,
Mhm.
and
Black, but he was dark skinned.
people
Because Muslims like
yes, people
Jews.
look at me and say no, but I think no, but you have to know that the
how was his face?
the church make the way that they like war. They don't.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
believe the same. Like I believe it wasn't a white guy.
yeah, he was not
Probably,
Caucasian, right? Probably not
and
Caucasian.
his head probably is not so like
Great.
Look, I'm talking about this picture here. This picture, uh, Jesus, right, looks just like Lula. Check it out.
Let me see. Um,
You know, yeah, but Jesus was Jewish, right? And Jewish people, they have stayed more or less. How can I say more or less? Um,
just the nose.
and
I
then,
just saw the
come on,
photo.
the beard, the nose, the eyes.
Yeah.
you know so look, Jewish people, they have a history of marrying only Jewish people, right? So they yeah, I believe they have changed as a race. Of course, every race has changed, but they stayed probably very similar to what they were back then. So Jesus was Jewish, so maybe he would look like more like a Jewish person, right? For example, Jewish people, they usually say that they have dark hair, like a big nose. Okay, um, so he was not like Caucasian. He was Jewish, but I don't believe that he was black, right? Black, it doesn't make any sense for him to be black, right? But probably not the same idea that we have of him, like those
Dark
long
skin.
hair, that long hair, and like super white face. That's not real, right? I don't believe it is. Okay.
but I have another question. Like I'm an
Yes.
atheist, and to me, it's like something like how to say it. It's like he was born from two people.
Yeah.
When you go to the Bible, you know that
Hmm.
he was born by without happen something with two people without
Yeah.
the sex.
He was
He was
generated by
he was
God
generated by the
and
God.
Mary.
Then maybe all this if he who was generated by God, he can be anyway.
Yeah, it makes sense.
you know.
It makes sense. But at least part Jewish, right? At least half Jewish. So yeah, it does
I
make
don't believe
sense.
he was generated by God.
Well,
well,
I don't
I
believe in that.
sure.
As an answer. No, I really don't. I'm really like so against that. like that Jesus was like let's say concepted in the way
Conceived.
how conceived in the way how they say in the Bible. I think the Bible was just they just wrote in a way to make people don't go to details, and they wanted to make Virgin Mary the Virgin Mary to use as an example in my vision. Like, but I respect people who believe in that.
What's stranger is that the Catholics they worship Mary, right, as the Virgin Mary. But if you read the Bible, you see that Jesus had brothers, right? Possibly sisters too. So she was virgin according to the Bible up to the moment that she had Jesus, right? But after that, she married Jose, and they had other kids. So she was not
Yeah.
virgin anymore, you know. She's
So
not
when they
Virgin
they
Mary
say
forever.
they say
They had
virgin in the
sex.
idea that she waited for the to marry to have a child. That's what they mean when they say Virgin Mary. But I don't like this idea. I don't believe, and I also think that they just create that to use as an example because they want women to act like that. They wanted to
Okay,
make her as a perfect image for women because that's
perfect
what they believe it was the
role
right thing
model,
to
right?
do.
A perfect
Yes,
role model.
yes,
Do you know
and
this
I
expression? Role model?
role model. Yeah, I heard about
Yeah, a role
by the way,
model.
a role
Role
model.
model is a model of person who inspire you, who inspires you to be like them, right? He or
Yeah,
she.
that's what they were trying to do with Virgin Mary.
Okay.
And I have a lot of discussions with my mom about that many times because like she's so Catholic and at the same time she's a so strong woman. I have a huge admiration for her. She's like very feminist, and but this thing about like believing so much in Virgin Mary and like
Hmm.
it doesn't make sense. I always say to her, and she's like, "No, but it was like this. I really believe."
Yeah, it was a
And
miracle, right? So
yeah,
miracles are things that don't act naturally, don't happen naturally, right? So
yeah,
that's why it's such a special occasion, right? Because it was conceived, she conceived pregnant. Oh, she conceived virgin while she was a virgin, and Jose had never touched her, right
yes.
before.
And
Uh,
also they pray for they have like the prayings for Virgin Mary. They pray for her,
yeah.
and I don't like to repeat that. And once like my family was asking me why, and I explained like I just don't believe in
Yeah.
that, and I just don't agree. I'm not going to repeat that. Oh, but it's a
Okay.
beautiful thing to repeat. No, not for me. I don't like this idea that the church made about the woman.
Yeah. So they prayed to her. Okay. They prayed
Yeah,
to
they
her.
pray to her.
To God. Okay. So Daniel, since you are alone here today, right? Gustav just reminded me. Actually, not now, but he reminded me that once was just Vanessa, Gustavo, uh, and Paulo, right, with me in the 2 o'clock meeting, and we did something different, which was like a game, okay, of telling a story. So we timed like 1 minute, okay, in a timer, put 1 minute on the timer, and then each person had to tell a story about a given topic. Okay, so for example, I give you a topic and you have to talk about this topic in 1 minute in a way that's like conveys a complete story with beginning and end, right?
You
Um,
say yes. You say
yeah,
whatever comes in your mind with the words. Like we're gonna say a
Okay,
word, and
okay.
you say whatever
yeah.
comes in your mind
But it has to be
in a
like a
minute.
complete thought. You cannot just end, oh, and then the time is up. Okay, you have to mind the time, right, to finish correctly. You can still be silent in the end. Okay, no problem. If there are like 5 seconds, you just right, you just stop speaking. Okay, it's
Okay,
I'm
okay, okay,
finished,
okay.
right? But you don't need to. Oh, and oh, the time's up, right? So that's not so good. Uh, so let's play this. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So Vanessa,
Let's
can
do it.
you time us?
Okay, I don't know how to do that in the computer as Gustavo was doing that day, but I can do my
Yeah, in your
use my
phone.
phone.
I think you can use a timer.
Yeah, the
It's
timer on the
in
phone.
the
Yeah, in the
browser.
phone.
Browser.
But I mean,
Browser
I don't
is
know. I
timer.
don't know why is the timer in the browser. Can you help me, Daniel, please?
You can use this. I'm gonna send the link to you.
Google timer.
Google
Yes,
timer.
it's basically if you put timers the first link. I'm using it. I'm use it sometimes
Oh,
to look.
timer online. Oh, it's cool.
Oh,
That's
okay. I think
awesome.
it
It's
was
a website. It's just a website. Okay.
It's you
okay.
put 1 minute here and play.
Yeah, timer online.
Actually,
Yeah, we
we
can
should.
share.
Can you share your screen to show the timer?
Okay, yes, I can.
Okay,
Just
go
let me
there.
just change for a minute. How can I change that?
Change what?
Okay, I did it. So I'm gonna use this one. I'm gonna share my screen right now. Well, why?
What's happening?
Daniel is laughing.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, I found
Yeah.
it. Okay,
Okay,
can you
just
see?
share. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay. So,
Great.
Danilo, I'm going to select a topic for you, right? A topic for you.
Okay.
just wait a moment. There, I have to put bacon outside.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's going to bark.
Okay.
Okay, just a moment. Let me
Let me think
stop
about
my
it.
video.
Let me think about it. Okay, I'm gonna go easy on you. It's going to be something that you like, right? Let her come back. Yeah. So remember, beginning, middle, and end. And actually,
Okay,
you can talk about any aspect of the topic, right?
Okay.
You can tell a story. You can talk about it in general. I don't know. Vanessa, are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm here.
So the topic is technology. So 3, 2, 1, go.
I think technology came to solve a lot of problems, but at the same time, technology is making people have problems. For example, if you are addicted to technology, you're gonna start to have some problems like using a lot of technology. People sometimes don't talk to each others, and people don't communicate at all with each others because of the technology. But I think technology came to solve problems and to bring more progress to us. And the mainly thing about technology is that when using it to solve problems, we in the art of the thing, we can really use our time to do good things. And that's it.
Okay, very
Good.
good. So
I
you
mean
don't need to
what I
say like
said.
that's it. Okay, just stop talking. Right? In the, uh, yeah.
It's
It's not
okay.
easy.
Uh,
It's not easy at all.
it's not. It's not easy. I know it's not easy, right? And even for experienced speakers, it's a hard thing to do, right? To convey a message in 1 minute, to have a time, But actually, that's what they do in
It's
tests like
difficult.
IELTS or something like this, right? They have like a speaking test, and you have to talk about something in a very limited space of time, right? In a very limited time. And they analyze everything, right? Your grammar, they analyze even your vocabulary. For example, if you repeat many words, like you repeat the technology a lot of times, this is going to, they are going to reduce your points, right? To lower your grade. So if you make grammar mistakes, so you have to show them that you have a vast vocabulary, right? and to be precise. But of course, you're not going to take this test now, right? You have time to work on English. So hopefully, when you do get take this test, you're going to ace it, right? You're going to be very good. So just one point here: each other, right? Not each others.
Okay,
Each
it's
other.
other.
Others, right? It's only used as a noun. For example, the others are here, right? The others are here. But when you say other people or each other, it's always other, right? Other
Right.
people, not others peoples. People, sorry, and not others people's too. So now, Danilo, can you select? Can you choose a topic for Vanessa?
What is difficult?
Why are you laughing?
Because
And
it's so
Vanessa will choose my
difficult.
topic. Yeah, what
Choose a
topic then?
topic. One topic.
Anything. Yeah.
Okay. Business.
Business? Okay.
So don't forget to start the clock.
Okay. I have studied business administration, and many people think when you study business administration, it is because you want to own a company, or because you have a family business and you're gonna take care of your family business, you're gonna take over and administrate your family business. But it's not just this. Business administration has a lot. First of all, you can specialize yourself in many things, and you can work inside a company, and you can also be an end-on entrepreneur, and you can work with financial administration, marketing. You can work with human resource, and business is also so much more than just a company, numbers, and money. It's about people. That's the most important thing about business. You're doing
Okay.
business for people and work with people.
Yeah. I believe that you should have stopped right there when there was like 3 seconds. Okay. You kind of rushed in the end. Yeah, but it was good. It was nice. It was very good actually.
I wanted to
Right.
conclude an idea.
Yeah.
Rafael helped me, and I decided to help Vanessa.
Yeah. Which is like topics that I know that you know, right?
Yeah, but I can talk about many things. My mind is so
Wow. So
no, I'm
clever.
not. I'm not saying like I know everything
See, I'm just kidding.
about all
Come
the
on.
things. I mean, like I have so my mind is like so easy to connect things.
Oh,
Like
that's a
my
great ability, actually. And actually,
yeah,
Daniel, let me tell you something. I really like your ability to make yourself understood, even though you don't know the word, right? That's very important to speak another language. For example, you didn't know how to say cave, but you made me understand it, and then I helped you a little bit. But I could understand what you meant, right? So that's important about language. It's not about knowing everything, knowing all the grammar rules or all the vocabulary that you know. Nobody knows everything, right? But having this ability of making yourself understood, right? It's awesome. So congrats, man.
It's
I
something
like it.
So
I like
yeah,
it
sometimes
how
people don't
Danilo
like.
explained it about the eyes.
yeah, the eyes
It
thing.
was awesome. Like he didn't remember the name and he explained in a very good way that everyone
Yeah,
can notice
when
that what he
water
was
goes
talking
below
about.
zero. Oh, eyes, right?
It was really
yeah,
cool.
I know what you mean. It was very nice. So,
Okay.
Vanessa, so what's my topic? Let's do one more for us to wrap it up.
Okay, now it's you.
Yeah.
I wanna say something different, something like random.
Last time we did this, I wasn't very good. One of the we did 2 times, right? One I got it right, but the other one wasn't so good.
Okay. Talk about the color yellow.
Oh, the color yellow. Okay, so that's really
Let me
challenging.
know
Can
when
you
I
put?
can let me know when I can start.
Well, actually, it just say okay, okay, okay. You can start, right?
Okay, let me reset.
It
Okay, start.
says Okay, so yellow is one of my favorite colors because it's the color of the sun, right? And I always think happy things when I see this color because it brightens every day, right? It brightens, it lights up the room, for example. And I had many things that are yellow, like I have watches, yellow watches. I would love to have a yellow car, right? And one of the things that I remember when I see the color yellow is about one of my favorite shows when I was a kid that was called Power Rangers, right? And a fun fact about this TV show is that the yellow Power Ranger was actually a man in the Japanese original version, but when they added the American version, right, they changed his gender for a woman. So when he's a man, he's a woman, then he transforms into a man when he morphs, right? So it's a very interesting fact.
Okay, perfect.
Uh, okay, what's more or less, but that's true. You know, did you know that? Have you ever realized that when the Power Ranger is a human, she's a girl, but when she morphs, she becomes a man. Like even the uniform is like the other man.
I
It-
remember she was a girl, but I don't remember like the part when she morphs. I'm thinking about
yeah,
that right now.
Google it. You know, uh, the pink Power Ranger has a skirt. Her when she's a Power Ranger, her uniform, her Power Ranger suit is a skirt, right? And the yellow, no, the yellow is just like the other men, right? Because in the original one, it was a boy, and they didn't remake it, right? They didn't
Oh,
remake it. Sorry, they didn't remake it. They just put, they got the footage from the original one and they shoot other scenes, right? Other scenes to make and they put together and they made the show. But the original one was older. It's kind of a weird story.
I don't know if I watch it. Maybe I'm
Yeah,
not
Power
sure.
Rangers was so popular when I was a kid.
I like it.
Uh, yeah. So guys, thank you very much for showing. I hope you enjoyed it and could learn a lot, right? So I'll see you next Saturday, right?
Ref, get a screenshot.
Oh yeah, guys, let's pose this time, right? So can you smile? Eh, Okay, another one just to make sure. Okay, thank you very much, guys. So
thank
did
you,
I
guys.
press the correct button? Yes, I guess.
Yes. Thank you so
So
much.
see ya. Bye bye. Have a
See
nice
you. Bye
weekend.
bye.
Have a good night.